We have two speakers in this case, a dynamic duo, which will be presented by Carolyn Grant and Amol Patel. These are our global product line directors, and they will share insights on advanced manufacturing capabilities specifically for EMEA. It's all about high performance, locally customized material to meet and exceed market specific needs. And by the way, one shining star of this lineup, of course, will include innovative solutions, including specialized seals for the food and bev industry, for the energy, and also for the automotive segments. So without further ado, Carolyn and Amol, the stage is yours.
Thank you very much, Matthias, for the introduction, and good afternoon to everybody on the call. So as mentioned, Carolyn and I will talk about the standard and custom solutions for performance and sustainability, and hopefully you can get a good insight to follow up from our colleagues who have presented up to now. So in terms of our European footprint, and this has already been talked about by some of our colleagues, and you can see, I won't repeat everything, but I really want to focus in on a couple of areas on here, and that's really around the products, and that's our 9 R&D centers and our 24 customer solution centers that are strategically placed around Europe. And of course, a lot of these are mature areas and mature markets that have been around for a while, but we continue to invest and focus on development in these spaces, and that's critical as we go forward. Martin's already touched on our manufacturing footprint, and it remains extensive throughout Europe. And as Chris then touched on, we continue to expand in these spaces, and that is incredibly important as we look forward and continue to support our customers through our extensive product range. A couple of areas that I really wanted to touch on is specifically on our high performance materials. And the reason for that is, as you've probably seen, and many of you are aware of, for our existing customers, we have a lot of registered trademark or patented materials across our range. And these go from everything from thermoplastics to perfluoroelastomers, bearing compounds, polyurethanes, PTFE and plastics, but also for segment-specific applications. We're talking about the aerospace industry, food, bev, and water. And this is what really stands us apart and differentiates us from a lot of our competitors. We continue to develop in this space, and you can see that we have over 75 major patents in place and several hundreds of national design patents that are in place. So it really is quite extensive, and we continue to invest, as I mentioned. But what's critical is the changing landscape that we see in front of us today. So in the current situation, we can see that we have an increasing regulatory requirements. Some of them are governmental led, some are industry led, and PFAS and a lot of those are being seen all over the world. But sometimes our customers and different industries are changing faster than the regulations that are actually being implemented. And that continuous change in material and ingredients really challenges us in terms of our availability and customer acceptance. And Thomas already talked about our supply chain resilience, and that is really important when it comes to offering our customers sustainable solutions. From our side, our capabilities, we of course have an in-depth knowledge, and you've seen that through our European footprint with our R&D centers, innovation centers, continually elaborating on materials and availability. We're always looking for future trends and what's changing in the market. We're trying to get ahead of the curve that's there. And we understand, with some of the risks in supply chain that we've seen over the last 4 or 5 years, early identification of alternative solutions is really our strength and something that we focus a lot of time, effort, energy, money, of course, as well, because this happens behind the scenes. It's not always seen, but it's really important in terms of making sure we stay ahead of what's required in the market. We have, of course, proactive reformulations. We're constantly monitoring those regulations to see what can change, but also world-class analytical capability to detect even trace ingredients. These are all done in our labs across Europe, and we have a lot of those on our manufacturing facilities as well to do live in-house testing. But these benefits are provided to you as the customer, of course, giving you confidence and security in our supply chain, materials that meet global certifications and requirements, so to reduce regional variance. We have a lot of global key customers here, and that you have that confidence to be able to supply the same material across various regions. And of course, as we mentioned, early awareness gives time when change is needed. So we like to inform our customers as early as feasibly possible about changes that are upcoming, allowing you time to run your tests and evaluations. But also our segment-based expertise, as Chris already talked about from a semicon perspective, but across all of our segments, that expertise helps us when it comes to material selection and being able to offer a consistent material across the globe. So when it comes to our products and solutions, Carol and I are going to touch on 3 different areas. So talking about our standard products, our custom products, and then our advanced solutions. So from a standard product perspective, I mean, you can take that as a variety of different things. I've touched on a few here: our linear seals, our bearings and bushings, O-rings and static seals, and rotary seals. Now, some of those can also be high performance solutions, but in the main, a lot of them can be mass market offered. You can see from the map in the background there that there's a couple of circles. So you can see there's several manufacturing facilities that we have across Europe that are able to support these various product lines. And a couple of the things that have been going on or are available in the European footprint is our high performance zircon PU and Turcon PTFE seals. They've been around for a while, but we continue to evolve them and drive them forward. Our dual layer materials in PTFE, we've been looking at different ways to make 2 different materials, so often offering the dynamic area or the dynamic lip with a high performance material, but not having to carry it through the entire length of the seal to help reduce costs. Approved materials, Food Pro, Hydrogen Pro, something Carolyn will touch on in greater detail, heavy duty products, and of course PFAS free offerings are something that are constantly requested and we work on. We have rotary seals and a couple of highlights that I've mentioned there. The Steffer registered trademark name that's been out for a while and is going through, I would like to say, a bit of a relaunch and a revamp. We've got a high pressure range, a high spin range for EV40, 40 meters per second, specifically targeted at the EV market, as the name suggests, but also looking at mini and nano radial shaft seals, looking at industrial automation segments, and a lot of variety of areas where we can get down to 3.5 millimeter cross sections. So really small, high performance, but also offered as a standard. But when I look at another key area there, you can see is high performance Orcop bearings and bushings for marine and hydro markets. This is something we're seeing quite a lot of growth and demand in at the moment, serving a variety of segments. And as is mentioned by Marine, you know, sometimes this can be in industries such as defense, and having that European footprint is a great added advantage when it comes to offering that local product. And then Thomas already touched on this when he talked about supply chain resilience, but a key area we can also support in is our strategic partner manufacturing capabilities. This is something we really focus a lot on. We know that we can't make everything, but we use our strategic suppliers to really support and grow within the region. And with that, I'll hand over to Carolyn, who will talk on customized products. Mute, Carolyn.
Thanks, Amul. Thanks, Amul. So taking over for customized solutions, they say map, a bit different sides, a bit different dots you see here. So again, a huge footprint, especially in Europe, where we can offer you different and several customized solutions. What we define as a customer solution could be a huge range based on different products, different material solutions, or additional services as assembly solutions. Some are named on the slides, but that's only a small snapshot out of what we can customize for your general needs. So starting a bit with the material point of it, what we can offer you is a comprehensive high-performance elastomer portfolio, more in a general range, but also an already briefly touched by Amul with fit-to-market materials, as for example our Food Pro material range, which is dedicated and customized to the food and bev market and requirements, or our H2 Pro material range as an additional example, which is tailored and customized to the hydrogen market. even in going further in customizing, we also are able to do bespoke customized materials in different elastomers, for example, in solid silicon, but also in others, to really have a material also dedicated to your high requirement application field. So speak with your contacts in at TS at Trelleborg Sales, and we will support you wherever we can. Some additional highlights for sure, thanks Amul, are assembly units. So we can assemble as well different products you maybe need as an assembly unit to take that one over. Next slide. Thanks, Amul. Going a bit deeper, for example, you see here our hydrogen product material line, which we call the H2PO material. That is only one example. We have that for different materials, for different ranges, for different segments. In that case, for example, we really tested in our hydrogen lab different materials for these specific segment requirements and came out with a variety of materials depending on your need. Here you, for example, see a polyurethane and an EPDM solution. Next slide, please. Thanks. And coming a bit deeper in our advanced products, advanced solutions. So as Amul already mentioned, it always could be a combination out of a standard product, which maybe needs a bit on top, but there are also some solutions which we develop further within the last years to really enhance our offering to our customers. One, I think, really outstanding solution and known at a huge customer base already is that we have advanced offering in multi-component technology, which brings us from rubber to metal, from plastic to rubber, and also elastomer plastic material combination. So challenge us a bit. We have a huge footprint in that case, a lot of know-how also local here in Europe, which we want to share and support our customers. Looking forward, we're also doing more and more in advanced capabilities, as for example, high performance plastics or advanced composites, especially considering lightweighting, multifunctionality, and sustainability requirements. On the next slide, we see also our comprehensive offering in Service Plus, which we want shortly to mention. One is the product we want to, or the capability we want to serve you, but we can also give a lot of plus. We call that a little bit our Service Plus offering and toolbox. We will not go too deep in it, but you really can challenge us on that. It could be everything from engineering, so from surface technology, for example, if you need a low friction surface treatment, but base material is defined, and enhanced supply chain solutions and services. Thomas already mentioned, for example, out of our logistics centers, we can support you with aftermarket solutions, as for example, kitting or installation tools and support, and for sure also everything which is manufacturing related and manufacturing technology related when it comes to a subcomponent assembly, clean room testing, clean room production, and small series production. All cumulated a bit on that final slide of our presentation. So Amul and I try to give you a bit more in-depth view of our solutions and capabilities we have, and our Service Plus offering. But consolidating all the presentations, all the knowledge we hope to transfer to our customers today, and we really see us as a solution provider with a more or less unique setup in Europe, because all of what we mentioned today, we can serve you directly out of Europe. We call it also, or like to call it a bit, the shoulder-to-shoulder engineering with our customer. So we won't give you a little bit a plus on it. And that is, you see in that slide, which is a bit a process out of a concept in product development. So please include us really early in your thoughts, your developments. We have R&D centers available. We have a lot of engineers, a lot of know-how, a lot of testing capabilities which could support you, which also for sure include a selection and a support with our advanced material offering, which then lead us in prototyping, which for sure is an important thing that you also can test if it fits to your requirements, to your application, to your needs, brings us to industrialization, because every prototype is great, but you need to bring it in a stable process in our manufacturing sites, and then to bring additional service with our service plus offering and our logistic services to bring the parts in all time wherever you need it. So thanks a lot, and we are open for questions.
Wonderful. Thank you very much, Carolyn and Amul, for this wonderful presentation. Super comprehensive, right? And so much that we have to offer. And we'll actually dive straight into the Q&A, right? So we'll go ahead with the first one. This one's actually, speaking of comprehensive, I think this is a perfect fit. And here goes the question: what do you see as the biggest challenges and trends in product development?
I can take that one, Carolyn. We're seeing quite a few things, and I've already touched on one of them, which was materials. I think the material trends is definitely a significant one as we go forward. Lots of requests for high performance materials, materials that meet different challenges out in the marketplace. But there's a couple of others that come to mind on top of that. One is eliminating waste. You know, our customers are always challenging us to use our expertise to help them eliminate waste. Sometimes that can be us supplying a simple gasket today, but tomorrow supplying a multi-component solution that eliminates waste and ultimately cost from our customer's side. But also the other is dual sourcing is one that comes to mind. Now, it sounds a bit ironic, but our customers are always looking for dual sourcing to mitigate some of those risks. But at Trelleborg, we can be that dual source supplier because of our extensive footprint, having dual capabilities in multiple sites across the region and across the globe. In fact, that gives us that little bit of edge to be able to offer that. And that's something we've been proactively doing with our customers in order to mitigate the supply chain.
Perfect. Thanks so much, Amul. And here is another question for you both. I think, honestly, this one's a little tricky. What would you define as a core strength for the EMEA region, and how do these capabilities actually differ to your competitors?
I'm happy to take that one over. I think that's a really good question. I mean, it's really, and to keep it short, it's really our offering, our broad offering out of Europe. I mean, if we think all the capabilities, all the solutions we showed during the presentation, we can serve directly out of Europe. For sure, we have a global network, and in some cases, we can interact with the other regions as well. But speaking, and today with the focus out of Europe and local to local, we have everything in Europe existing, available. We can connect everything for our customers, because in reality, it's often that the customer is requesting some standard products, and then also some customized and also some advanced one, and then he wants to have it in different countries, different locations, and everything like that. And we can bring everything together with our really strong footprint and all our additional service we can serve out of Europe.
Wonderful. Thank you very much, Carolyn and Amul, again, for hosting this session and for answering the questions here that came in from the audience. Thanks so much to you both.
Thank you. Pleasure.